Well, if everybody come in and take a seat here, it's sort of bringing, it's March 17th, so you know that means National Cabbage and Corned Beef Day. It actually is, and it's actually National Submarine Day. The actual naval vessel is not the sandwich. In 1973, on this day, Pink Floyd debuted Dark Side of the Moon on the Billboard 200. It would stay for 173 weeks.
Wow.
Yes, I know. And right now, there is the farthest away from Earth man-made object, human-made object, 25 billion miles away in interstellar space, the Voyager 1
It was launched in 1997.
1977. Yes. If you had light from the sun takes 8 seconds to get here. If you did light from the Voyager where it is right now, it would take 22 hours to get here. That's how far away it is. That's pretty exciting. I think like one day we'll lose contact, but then in some distant world somewhere they'll be going, what the heck is that?
Oh, old school.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Sunday Assembly, San Diego's 113th Assembly and 40th Online Assembly. In the room are called Roomers, and the humans on Zoom are called the Zoomers. Hi, Zoomers. Every assembly has a theme, and the theme for today's assembly is Game, Set, Match. My name is Gracie Soden, and I'll be your MC today. We have a media-free zone on the left. We will be digitally recording any video on that side, so if you don't want to participate in that, please sit over there. And also, we have childcare and trained child professionals for your kids age 1.5 and up. That is correct. And we should start with a sing-along from our lovely band, led by the inimitable Paul Simpson.
Yes. We now have actually a band. Yeah. Our band is called Unclaimed Freight. That's the name of our band.
Are you workshopping that, or that's a draft?
No, that's okay. No, we're not workshopping that at all. Okay, here we go. Not so fast. Okay. Because this is a concrete floor, and I don't want you all to end up with shin splints by pounding it, let's do this. Got it? Everybody knows this. Shocking. Got it. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, taking your name all over the place, singing, we will rock you. Come on, sing now. We will rock you. Do it again. We will rock you. One more. We will rock you. And buddy, you're a young man, hard man, shouting in the street, gonna take on the world someday. Got blood on your face, you big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place, singing, we will rock you. I can't hear you now. We will rock you. Sing it. We will rock you. We will rock you. Try this one. Oh, buddy, you're an old man, poor man, bleeding with your eyes going to peace someday. Got mud on your face, you big disgrace. Somebody got you back in your place, singing, we will rock you. Sing it. We will rock you. We will rock you. One more. We will rock you.
I was waiting for Brian May to come in, actually. Waiting for Brian May to come in with that long.
Yeah, I know. But we weren't going to do that, so.
No, right. No Freddie Mercury there. Gosh, welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Assembly. Sunday Assembly is a secular, non-religious community that meets monthly to hear great talks, to connect for community events. We've got a bunch of things coming up. to have some snacks. We have mochi today and some wafer cookies. And to sing some songs, but mostly we're here to celebrate this one life that we're living right now. This one life that we know that we have. Every Sunday Assembly has a theme, and this Sunday Assembly is Game, Set, Match. The motto for Sunday Assembly is live better, help often and wonder more. We have lots of ways that you can do that, and we think that living better is just doing things in community and having people to talk to, and that's always great. We do a little thing that we call Life Happens, which is sharing some of the events that are happening in the community, so I'm going to read some of those for you right now. Our beloved Lelia flies to St. Louis on Easter Sunday for a double leg surgery, April 2nd. 6 weeks recovery, mostly in bed. Lelia, where are you? Congratulations. I think this is your last one of these kinds of surgeries. Is that correct? Oh, I'm so excited for you. Gosh, you've been through so much, and we wish you the very best of luck. This is from Lewis. Says, I am smiling more while alone, and loneliness while among people. I am smiling more while alone and lonely less while among people. That's so lovely. Lewis, thank you for sharing that. After a couple of surgical errors, I will be going to the dentist to have a laser shot into my mouth to help regenerate damaged nerves. That's James. James, good luck with that. My nerves. Sounds like something out of Austin Powers. Rachel and Steve welcomed a new baby this week. They finally had their baby. She was more than 40 weeks pregnant, by the way. Mom and baby are now recovering at home from their big adventure. The newborn is doing newborn things, eating, pooping all the time, keeping their parents up all night like they're supposed to do. It's just excellent. So congratulations to them. Thank you for sharing these things. If you have a life happens to share, you can write them on these little note cards, and there's some on the floor if you want any extra ones. And if you have a photo or something like that you want us to present, just let us know a week ahead of time, and we can put those in the slides for you. We have Help Happens now, things that we do in the community. So I'm going to ask our community service chair, Jennifer McCown, to come up. Jennifer.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, April 13th to 21st will be Sunday Assembly USA's first Help Often Week. During this week, Sunday Assemblies around the U.S. will be focusing on volunteering, service, and charity. Sunday Assembly San Diego has 2 events planned for this week. On April 20th, we'll be hosting a site for I Love a Clean San Diego's Creek to Bay cleanup. We'll be hosting the site at Martin Luther King Jr. Park and Recreation Center in Encanto. As always, all supplies are provided. We just need volunteers. And on April 21st, we'll be providing a meal at the Salon Tepeyac shelter in Sherman Heights, a shelter for new migrants. If you're interested in either of these events, you can find them on Meetup, or you can see me after Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jen. For those of you going to the cleanup, it is 4:20, so come as you are. We have a reading, Math for Beginners, by Elizabeth Below, read by Laura Haywood. Laura?
Because we forgot to find a reader. So sorry. I'm like, oh shit. I got a reading. Math for Beginners. In increments of 3, she counted the days he had been gone. Numbers represented logic. Sequences of passion, x degrees of longing, equals exponential abandonment. So, she bought a calculator with jeweled buttons, each digit a sapphire, emerald, or ruby, sparkling in sunlight. It was the kind of calculator the scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz would have had if only he had the brain. She could be seen walking trance-like and without shoes, furiously trying to formulate an equation for solace, always coming up with 0. It wasn't long before she stopped writing in her journal and began using her checkbook to document their encounters, codifying conversations into theorems, bracketing days of special importance. One day, while sitting in her favorite cafe, calculating a coefficient for indifference, she started to cry. Out of the corner of one glazed eye, she noticed a boy watching the tears fall from her face, but he did not count them.
Thank you, Laura. That's great. Very excited today. Our speaker today is Dr. Sarah Trebat-Leder. She has an AD from Princeton University and a PhD from Emory University, both in mathematics. During her year as a graduate student, she founded and directed Emory Math Circle, a math enrichment program for middle and high school students that grew to serve more than 200 students each semester. As part of the Emory Math Circle, she also ran multiple math festivals at Emory, founded and ran a week of mathematical exploration summer program, ran occasional events at the Children's Museum of Atlanta, and more. She also spent some time doing number theory research. These days, she's the director of talent strategies at Art of Problem Solving, an educational company aimed at discovering, inspiring, and training the great problem solvers of the next generation. Outside of work, Sarah enjoys contra dancing, and boy does she, Lego building, and being part of Sunday Assembly. We welcome Dr. Sarah Trebat-Leder.
So my talk is about how to make math not suck. So many of you, both kids and adults in America, might have some bad associations with math. So when I tell people that I have a PhD in math, I get a lot of responses about the things that they didn't like about math as a kid. So for some people, that's boring, repetitive worksheets, or using formulas that you don't understand, like the quadratic formula here, or the time that you got lost in class and never caught up again, or that one really bad math teacher that you had that kind of ruined it for you. You might see things like this and just get really overwhelmed and feel like it's a foreign language. And yes, this was a real picture that I found going through my phone from when I was in grad school. And even though I know what most of these symbols mean, it's still a little bit overwhelming for me too to look at that board. So you're not alone. But math doesn't have to be like that. So, in my time as a grad student when I was doing math activities with kids, we did so much fun stuff and so much stuff that was full of exploration and wonder. So, for example, here's a math festival that I ran where we had a student and instructor playing with spirographs together and exploring math that comes from spirographs. We also had a couple students at that same math festival playing with spaceships, which I just found out that looks like they no longer exist, but they were one of my favorite math toys. And building 3D shapes with them and exploring what shapes can be made. And here's a Valentine's Day activity that I did with a group of teachers where we made interlocking hearts. And there actually is some deep math that's behind the interlocking hearts. And so today, the math activity that I want to talk with you guys about is the game Set. So has anyone here played the game Set? I saw some people playing this morning actually, so I know there are some hands will be raised. But if you haven't played, totally fine. We're going to kind of talk about it together. So Set has these cards, and each card has 4 characteristics or 4 features. So there is color. So the color can be green, purple, or red. And I have a little G by the green in all of my slides because Set, the game, is not very colorblind friendly. I also have shape, so squiggle, diamond, and oval. Shading, solid, striped, or outlined. And number, 1, 2, or 3. And so 3 cards form a set if for each feature, the 3 cards are either all the same or all different. And that definition can be a little bit hard to just parse when you're hearing it in words. So we're going to do some examples. So, is this a set? You guys, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. If you think thumbs up if you think it's a set. I see a lot of thumbs up. So let's check. So color, they're all the same. They're all red. So that's good. Shape, they're all different. So that's good. Shading, they're all the same, they're all solids. Good. And number, they're all the same, they're all 1. So yes, this is a set. Okay, let's look at a second example. Is this a set? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, seeing a lot of thumbs down here. So let's look at our features. Color, they're all different, that's good. But yeah, shape, they're all the same. Good, they're all squiggles. But shading, ooh, we have 2 that are solid and 1 that's outlined. So they're not all the same, they're not all different. Not a set. Okay, one more example. You guys are doing good though. What about this one? Is this a set?
Yes. No.
Ooh, I see some mixed here. Some yes, some no. Okay, let's look. So color, they're all different. We have a green, a purple, and a red. So we're good there. Shape, they're all the same. They're all squiggles, so we're good there. Shading, they're all different. So we're good there. And number, all different, so we're good there. So for each characteristic, for each feature, they're either all the same or all different. So this actually is a set. It's just a trickier one. So the sets where you have a lot of differences are definitely harder to find than the ones where a lot of things are the same. But this one still counts as a set. So how do you actually play the game? So someone will deal out 12 cards, and everyone stares at those cards and tries to find 3 that form a set. So can anyone notice any sets here?
Yeah.
I see a couple people. Yes. What do you see?
The red 3, red 2, and red 1.
Absolutely. So there is a red oval 3, 1, and 2, and those form a set. There are actually a couple more sets here. Does anyone see a second set?
The purple shaded ones.
Yeah.
Purple shaded ones. Yes, we have this one, and this one. So these 3 form a set. Absolutely. I think there's at least one more.
Yeah,
The purple squiggle, the green ovals, and the red diamonds.
Ah, yeah, these 3. Nice. We have at least 3 sets here. Anyone find any more? I only found 3, but there might be more. Yeah?
The purple oval, the 2 green ovals, and then 3 red ovals.
Oh, yeah. We have a 4th set right here. Nice. Anything else? Ooh.
The 2 purple squiggles, the red shaded rhombus, and the purple squiggle.
Oh, sorry, say it again. So we have, I think I said the wrong.
2 purple squiggles,
2 purple
1
squiggles.
shaded rhombus, and 1 squiggle. Purple squiggle.
But if 2 of them are squiggles, and 1 of them is a diamond, then that's not a set. Okay, well, I don't know if there's any other ones, and then when you find a set, you get to take those 3 cards, and then whoever is dealing the cards will put 3 more cards to replace it, and we'll keep going until you run out of cards and no one can find any sets. And so that's how you play the game. But how is this math? Doesn't really seem like math. So let's do some math with set. So the first thing in doing math with set is to just ask some questions about the game. So here are some questions that I thought of when I played set. The first one is, how many different cards are there? So we know that there are 3 colors and 3 shadings and 3 numbers and 3 shapes. Second question that I thought of is, with 12 cards, will there always be at least 1 set? You have 12 cards in the game. And the game actually has a mechanism for if no one can find a set. If no one can find a set, you just keep adding 3 cards until someone can find a set. But maybe that's just because some of the sets are really hard to find and they don't want you to feel stuck. I don't know. And then, well, what are the odds that 12 random cards contain exactly 1 set? So with the 12 cards that we had what, like 4 sets? So lots of sets. I wonder how often you have exactly 1 set. And there's way more questions in this that you could ask. So I think when I originally made this slide, I had like 10 questions here. but that felt kind of overwhelming. And I want to leave some questions for you guys to ask. I don't want to try to make it, because I want you guys, part of being a mathematician and part of doing math with SET is asking questions yourself and not just answering questions that someone else tells you. So the next step is pick a question that seems interesting and try to solve it. So for me, the question that seems most interesting is, with 12 cards, will there always be at least one set? Because that feels really important for playing the game set. So how do we answer this? I don't know. Ooh, I heard something that was good, which was try some examples. Absolutely. So this is not just a cheat or something. Like, this is like a real strategy that mathematicians use. If you're stuck on a problem, a really good thing to do is just to try some examples. Because maybe by trying examples, you'll learn something that'll help you solve it more generally. Or in this case, if we try some examples, we might realize that the answer is no, right? We might find an example where there aren't any sets. And then that'll help us answer the question. So that's a great idea. So maybe let's just play the game set. So maybe the first time we're playing the game, we get these 12 cards. And these are the ones that you guys already saw. And we know that there's some sets here. So maybe we keep playing, and eventually we get to this one. And we stare at it for a while. Anyone see any sets here?
Yeah. Oh, no.
So we can't find any sets. We're coming up blank. How could we show that there are no sets here?
Play with something smart.
Play with something smart, okay.
Try every combination.
You could try every combination. Yeah, so we could try, what about, try the different types of sets. You could try all the combinations of all of those, grabbing 3 cards from all of those 12. Totally, that could work. We could also just try different types of sets. So I might first ask, are there any sets that have just the red ones? Or actually, let's start with just the purple. Could there be a set with just all purple?
No.
No, there's only 2 cards. Okay, what about a set that's all red? Well, if it's all red, it can't be all red 1s. It can't be all red 2s. It can't be all red 3s. So you'd have to have one of each.
I think I found a set.
Ooh, you think you found a set? Okay.
The 3 in the bottom,
Yeah?
the 2 squiggles
The
on
2
the
here?
left,
Yeah?
the 1 oval one.
Here?
Yeah.
Ah, so 2 of these are purple and 1 of them is red.
No,
So
if
they're
you go to the green one on the right, that's,
Yeah, that
oh
green
no, it's
one on
not,
the
it's
right.
also.
here?
Yeah.
But then we have 2 purple and 1 green.
The diamond?
Like here, and here?
No, the same 2 and plus the diamond.
Here, and here?
No, the diamond
Sorry.
on top.
Oh, here?
Yes.
We still have 2 purple and 1 red, and we also have 2 diamonds and 1 squiggle.
How about?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it. The 3
Okay.
the 3 green scribbles.
This one?
And the 2, then the 2 red.
Here?
Uh-huh.
And then we would need, the third one would have to be a purple 1. I don't think we have any purple 1s. So I encourage you guys to, you can think about this a little bit more. I want to keep going on. We can definitely spend more time on this, but I want to keep going on so that they don't yell at me about going over my time. But unless I did something wrong, I don't think that it's possible to find it. I don't think that there are any sets here. And so I encourage you guys to try playing some set yourself and see if you can find one where there doesn't seem to be any sets, and see if you can prove it. See if you can convince yourself that there really aren't any sets. So if you believe my example, which you might not right now, and that's okay, then there are some cases where there aren't a set of 12 cards. Okay, so we've answered our question, but maybe not in a really satisfying way. So, if you've answered a question, the next step in terms of doing math is let that inspire more questions. What does that question lead to? Can you try it more generally, a different case? So maybe you think about, well, what if 13 cards? Is there always a set? What about 14 cards? What about 15 cards? And for the sake of time, I'm going to skip up a little bit. And let's skip and ask about 21 cards. That's a nice number. 12, you switch the digits, you get 21. Maybe it's big enough that there always are a set. There's always a set. And maybe you play it for, you play 100 games of 21 card set with your friends. And it seems like you can always find a set. So maybe there's always a set, but how do you show it? Can we just try all the examples? Well, oopsies. I think something went. Oh, so okay. Sorry, I messed up my talking order. So maybe we can make a conjecture. So we can conjecture, which is basically a math word for making a hypothesis or an educated guess, that with 21 cards there'll always be at least one set. So we tried a bunch of examples and we couldn't find one. We always found a set. So how do we prove it? This is actually really hard. There are 13 quintillion possible combinations to check.
Of triples.
How much is it? Of triples. It is like you have billions, and you have millions, and you have billions, trillions, quadrillions, and quintillions. So you might recognize like the beginnings of those words, like quintillions mean 5. So a whole lot. I think it's about the same as like the number of insects alive in the world at any one time. So yeah, we're not going to check all of them. Maybe you can make a computer program to check them, but that still might take a really long time to run if you're just running it on your regular computer. So how do we prove it? I have no idea. So what's a strategy that mathematicians use when they're stuck trying to prove something that they don't know how to prove? They just say, well, let's just make an easier version of the problem. Let's make this problem easier, and then we can try to solve that. So sometimes this helps. Sometimes if you make an easier version of a problem and you solve it, that helps you learn something in solving it. That helps you solve the harder problem. And other times, you solve the easier problem, and you're like, this still doesn't really help. But, that's okay. You still solved the problem, and that's still cool. So let's do something different. Set simplified. What's the easiest version of set we can make? Well, what if set only had 2 features? Like you had color and number, but that was it. So there'd only be 9 cards. With 9 cards, that's way less scary, right? I can understand basically everything that's going on with 9 cards because I can actually try all the combinations. Right? I can just brute force my way through and figure everything out here. So let's try to answer these kinds of questions with 9 card set. So with 3 cards, will there always be a set?
No.
No, yeah. So let's say we start with the 1 red, and then the 2 red, and then the 1 green. That's not a set. So cool. The answer is no there. What about with 4 cards? Well, let's start with these 3 we already had. We already know that these don't form a set. Well, if we add the 3 red, well, that'll form a set. What if we add the 2 green? No. That's not a set. There's no sets there. So, okay. So the answer is still not always for 4. So what about with 5? Well, let's take the 4 we already had. And, well, what if we add these 3 red? Yes. That'll form a set. Okay, so we're trying to see if there's a way to not have a set. So if we add the 3 green, that'll form a set. What about the 3 purple?
Yeah.
It will, because you could have 1 red, 2 green, 3 purple. 2 purple, ooh, 2, 2, and 2, that forms a set. 1 purple, 1, 1, and 1, that forms a set. Interesting. So at least with these starting cards, you always have a set in 5 cards. But maybe we just picked the wrong 4 cards to start with. So we have a conjecture here, and we just made up set simplified right now. So this gets to be the Sunday Assembly San Diego conjecture. Because in math, if you make a conjecture, manufacturer and no one's made it before, you get to name it after yourself. So our conjecture is that in set simplified, there'll always be at least one set in 5 parts. And we have pretty good evidence here, but we haven't tried all the combinations. And I'm not going to prove it here, but I'm going to leave that to you guys to think about. So can you convince yourself that there'll always be a set if you have with 5 cards? You could try all the combinations, but maybe there's also something more clever you could do here. So in my last couple minutes, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So set is an example of something I like to call a mathematical playground. So it's kind of a scenario or setup that you can play around in, ask questions, and try to answer them. Some questions in that are easy to answer, like the number of cards in a set deck. Others are really hard. And another way we say that in math is the mathematical playground has a low floor and a high ceiling. So there's something that everyone can kind of get their hands on and start playing with, but there's also some really hard questions. And then you can change up the rules and scenarios. You can make your own version of it. And mathematical playgrounds, I think, is a really great thing for students to play with. Because it inspires them, it gets them more excited about math. It fosters curiosity and perseverance, teaches logical thinking and problem solving, and it can change the relationship between a student and a teacher. Because if the student is asking their own questions, the teacher isn't going to always know the answers to them. And that's a mind-blowing thing for students, that they can ask a question that the teacher doesn't know the answer to. It also helps students realize that math is a living subject, because sometimes a student might ask a question that no one in the world knows the answer to. And that's really mind-blowing. And it helps students see themselves as mathematicians, because they're really doing the same thing that mathematicians are doing. So what do mathematicians do? They find or make up a mathematical playground that they, and hopefully others, find interesting. So if you're trying to get published and trying to get a job, you have to care about what other people think. And they play around in it, ask some questions, find out what's already being figured out, pick a question they find interesting and that no one has answered already, try to answer it. If they answer it, they ask more questions. If the question's too hard, they try to answer an easier question. And then they tell their peers what they figured out. And so I think students should do this too, right? They should find or make up a mathematical playground that they find interesting. They're not trying to get published, so who cares about what other people think? They play around in it, ask some questions. It doesn't matter if other people have already figured out the answers, because you're trying to learn and explore for yourself. Pick a question that they find interesting and try to answer it. If the question's too hard, ask an easier question, and then they tell their peers what they figured out. Same thing. And so I think this can be a really powerful thing in education. I don't think it's the only thing students should do in math, but I think it's an experience that all students should get to have. And so if you want to explore more, my table is in the back right here. And there's going to be some of these games back there and some other mathematical playgrounds you can explore. 2 other websites that I really like for this kind of math problem are Math Circles and Julia Robinson Math Festival. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That was awesome. You know, a Sunday Assembly, it's a pretty big deal in San Diego. We have a beach that one of our former MCs says we own. And, we cleaned it up. We have a sign there that says Sunday Assembly San Diego. But we have a conjecture that I wanted to just so you know. Let's have a song from Unclaimed Freight.
You know, one time there was this massive computer, and people asked a question of it. It said, what is the answer to life, the universe, and everything? And the computer started computing for 1,000 years. Finally came back and said, I'm ready with the answer. They go, what's the answer to life, the universe, and everything? 42. The answer is 42. And they go, well, that's not a very good answer. You didn't ask a good question.
Hey, Paul, you know what I learned today from that?
No.
The next time I go to Vegas, I'm taking Sarah and James.
Yep, great idea. I mean, they might bust you for card counting, but not card mathing. Okay, new song. Not new, it's fairly recent. But it's new for us, because we just learned it this morning. I'm going to sing the verse, and then you're going to sing that same verse. We're going to learn it together, okay? So then you can become, then I'll sing the chorus, and you can all sing the chorus, and then we will all be ready for the Andy Williams show. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. We'll find out what we're made of when we're called to help our friends in need. That's the verse. Let's do it. Ready? If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. And if you ever find yourself lost in the dark and can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. We'll find out what we're made of when we all help our friends in need. Here comes the chorus. You can count on me. Like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and we'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh yeah. Yeah, sing the chorus. You can count on me. Like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh yeah. Got it? Okay, let's go to the beginning. We'll all sing this together. First verse, yeah. Now that we're all pros, why don't we all stand up? If you feel like standing up, if you don't feel like it, don't. Don't do what I say. Unless you want to. Here we go, you ready? Well, if you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. And if you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you.
Well, the vernal equinox occurs at 8:06 on Tuesday evening. That's March 19th, just a couple of days away. And the vernal equinox, of course, marks spring. And spring is a time of renewal, it's a time of rebirth, it's a time of corned beef and cabbage, apparently. It's a time of youth. And it is said that youth is the spring of our life. So I'd like to talk about youth today. And I'd also like to talk about our theme, which is game, set, match, which of course is something you take out of tennis. But it could be different things. It could be like if you had a game set and you're playing someone else, that'd be a game set match. Or if you had a set game and you're playing other people, that'd be a set game match. Or a set game match could be the thing that you use to burn a set game. But you know, I hear the word playgrounds. Sarah's talking about playgrounds and teaching children, and the tennis, the games that match. I just think of games and I think of playing. It reminds me of being in Rice Elementary School in 1960s on the playground there, being an elementary school child, and playing on the metal swings and the metal bars and the metal climbing things, and nothing. I mean, nothing is just more enjoyable than having a long slide down a metal slide on a hot summer day. But I love recess. Recess is such a great idea. I mean, I miss recess. You stop what you're doing and you go play. That's what recess is. I mean, I need that in my work. I mean, I have break time, but I really have recess. We need that here in Assembly. And that's what I want to do today. I want to have a recess today here in our assembly. I want to welcome each of you to Gracie Soden's first grade elementary school class. Students, thank you very much for being here today. Let me get a couple things set up here in our classroom. Now, the thing we're going to do today, we're going to play a couple of games in my elementary school class. And I'm going to pretend that you're the students. We're going to do a lot of make-believe. Now, trust me when I tell you, what we're about to do is entirely silly and inconsequential entirely. So if you don't want to participate, that's fine. No judgment at all. However, there's no safer place to do something a little bit nutty. And if you feel like you just want to participate and you get that little improv in you out, then come on and give it a good showing. Hold on one moment here while I prepare something that I should have already prepared. All right, students, let me get my teacher's aides here. Come on back in the class. Come on, everybody. Get my teacher's aides here. Where's my teacher's aides? Who do I have? I'm missing. There's Lelia. You're good, Lynn. Thank you. You're good. I got my teacher's aides here. One more. Cindy, where are you? Teacher's aide. Are you up there? Thank you very much for teacher's aides here. Okay, crisscross applesauce. Shh. Quiet, everybody. All right, we're going to play a couple games here today. First of all, we want to welcome all of you to the class. Now, these are my teacher's aides right here. Hi. Thank you all for being so. Thank you all for being so quiet and listening.
Good morning, students. This is your Vice Principal, Mr. Haskell. As you know, today's the last day for our Principal, Mr. O'Brien.
Oh, that's right.
I want to take this opportunity to thank you teachers, teachers' aides, the administration staff, and your service workers, but especially your children for everything you've done to make this a special day for Mr. Bryan. Mr. Bryan will be on campus soon. I'm going to ask you to stay in the classroom, and we'll notify you by intercom when he gets on campus. And once we got him in the assembly hall, we'll give you all clear, and we'll head on over there. All right, you practiced for this. Good day. Thanks so much.
All right. Well, we talked about this before. This is where Mr. O'Brien's going to come into school for the last day, and all the school's going to be closed and locked. It's going to be dark and quiet, and he'll come in, he won't know what's going on, and we'll get to the auditorium, and we'll all go in there, and we'll throw a big surprise party. This is going to be so great. So, but while we're waiting to hear the word when he gets on campus, we're going to play a couple of games. So, if you don't mind to grab the ball grabbers there. Cindy, that's you also. I have Ara and Lelia. You guys can just monitor the children. I have my two ball people there. So if you give that one, please, to, let's see, this one to you. and these are yours. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to pass the balls. It's just a cooperation game just to see how well we can do and follow directions. You can't get this wrong, but possibly you can. That might be fun. So we're going to take this ball here, and we're going to pass it horizontally across the entire group. So from here, then we start with Sarah, we're going to go across here. Now my ball handlers are going to be in the middle to make the gap, so you don't need to get up. And this will go across this way, and across this way, and across this way, and across the way. You get the idea. That's horizontal we're learning. Okay, so we're going to go that. So you hold on, don't start yet. And now we're going to do vertical. So as best we can, because these are set up a little bit different, we're going to go vertical. So I'm going to give this to you, Susanna. And then you're going to go back, and we're going to come back up, and we're going to go back up and back. And you know, don't worry if it's not exactly right, but our guides will help you get that right. Now, this one. Go on. This one's going to go diagonal. So from this side here, we're going to pass this back this way, in that corner. Not yet. It's going to go across the back and diagonal up front and then back to Jeff right here. Now,
So what do we do with this one?
oh gosh, guess what? We're going to go diagonal over here. We're going to start, we're going to start with Andrew. And we're going to go back this way. And then we're going to come across. And we're going to go back up. And we're going to go across this way. And we're going to do this all at the same time. Okay, this is just a cooperation game. All right. And let me get my middle people in the middle, you two, and teacher's age, you just help guide people and make sure that we're separate. All right, now I'm going to time this. If we do this quickly, we're going to try to do it even more quickly. And if we do this slowly, then we're just going to give up. All right, ready, steady, go. Hi, Zoomers.
Good idea.
That's looking good.
You're going to be getting,
We have me here.
Okay, vertical. I'll pass it to Sarah, and she goes back to you.
Okay, we have one ball that's back home. We get the James, you have the ball going horizontal across. Are you ready for that? Okay, there are two balls back.
It's a good answer. The cool one is the dance. It's a different
This is so horizontal.
That looks vertical to me.
All right. So we have here, that was 1 minute and 55 seconds. And I think we won't do that again because I feel like there's, oh, hold on.
All right, students, you got a visitor on campus. Get to your places. You know the drill.
Okay, remember we talked about this now. Get over here to your safety spots. People on the side, go over safety spots. We're getting our safety spots. We're gonna be quiet. Come on over. People on the side, get on your safety spots. Go over and go over. We gotta be there. Come on, we gotta lock the doors. We're gonna turn off the lights. Everybody get over there. Get on your safety spots. Shh, quiet. Get on your safety spots. We practice this. Get over there. Shh, everybody, get there together. Get there together. Don't know what to do.
Stick it for them to Sarah.
Turn off the lights. All right. right, everybody, just be quiet. This is going to be so great when Mr. O'Brien gets here. He's going to look in. He won't see anybody in class. Kristen, will you lock the door? Just lock it. You try it. You won't even know it's here. It's going to be so fun. Okay, no giggling. No giggling this time. All right. Okay, everybody stay really quiet. Stay quiet. No laughing. No laughing over there. You're doing such a great job of being quiet. Everyone stay quiet. Mr. O'Brien's going to be so excited. Well, while we have a little bit of time, let me tell you a couple things about the games. The first game, I just made up. I just thought it would be fun to do, but it probably was a different game I should have thought about. But this game that we're playing right now, hide the principal, hide from the principal. Well, actually, what we're doing is what an elementary school child would do in a lockdown drill. Come on, we stand, we stay quiet. And we could replace our giggling and our fun for the feeling of apprehension, maybe, and not knowing what's going to happen to us or what's happening around us. And we replace Mr. O'Brien with an intruder on campus. And now we're waiting. Together.
All clear.
All right, if everybody can take their seats again. That way we got the all clear right there. So, and Kristen, we want to thank you so much, Kristen. Well, students, you did a wonderful, wonderful job. And
You still need them?
no, thank you, James. You get to go get a cookie. Thank you. Such a good job. Thank you so much. So, next month, April 20th, marks the 25th anniversary of the Columbine High School shooting. And my child was born in 1996. The shooting happened in 1999. So my child grew up with a shelter in place and lockdown drills. For the elementary school kids, I read a lot of lockdown books and I watched a lot of procedures. They're different. There's no set way to do this. It's not unified across the United States. It's made up by different school districts. And in some schools, the elementary students would be piling furniture in front of the doors. In some schools, the children are encouraged to grab a pencil or something to defend themselves. In some schools, usually with the older kids, they do full reenactments with blood and fake gunfire. In fact, in California right now, 2 days ago, there was legislation introduced into the state legislature to ban the use of fake guns in school and to notify parents ahead of time. Because often parents don't get notified until after these events happen because they have a visceral reaction to it. And they prepare their children for an event, and the children go to the event and they're distraught, and they get the other kids distraught, and so they tell the parents after. And the reason that I wanted to do this today is because I wanted to feel a little bit of what it might be like for being a kid today, being a child. You know, the young people of today have been through a lot. We had a global pandemic with the isolation that comes from that. This is, you know, for high schoolers, this was dating time or prom time. They have social media like I never had when I was in school, but the traumas that come from that. Distance learning and distance graduations, nothing that I ever knew about. My child graduated in 2020 from college and didn't have a graduation. And they have active shooter drills and lockdown drills. And they have active shooters. But I work with probably about 50 people between 18 and 25 of the 400 people that I work with. Lots of young people. And of course, raising my child, I was around young people, scads of young people, elementary school all the way up. And I just have to tell you, given everything that these people have been through, I'm just so impressed. They're so resilient. And then just like the trees outside, if you look outside, there's some of the barren trees, some of the deciduous ones, they're just getting their leaves right now. And when the light's shining on them in the afternoon, they just glow. And so do these kids as they're growing up. They're just remarkable young people for everything they've been through. And I think that they do these lockdown drills, but this is nothing new. They have to do it. The National Association of School Psychologists notes on their websites that lockdown drills save lives and are considered a best practice in any crisis response. But these kinds of preparations for safety measures, they're not new. When I was in high school, we had earthquake drills. We would duck and cover, and we would go under our desks, which it actually turns out that's not a bad thing to do. An earthquake, it keeps you protected from glass and things like that. Paul, you went to elementary school a little bit earlier than I did. Paul, did you experience anything like that?
Yeah, we had what they call drop drills or duck and cover drills, and that was where we crawled underneath the desks, and it could be at any moment. Teacher could be in the middle of the math and turn around and say drop, and everybody crawls under their tables because we were taught that a child's desk can protect you from nuclear blast. And so, but we would do, that was the thing we did. We'd have fire drills and stuff, but this was because that was the nature of the world at the time. The Russians were going to get us, and we could crawl under our desk. And that went on several years in elementary school for me, and was very distressing.
My child had lockdown drills, and they had lockdowns twice during their time. And I have to tell you, for a parent, it's heartrending.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to let your imagination magnify the situation. It's hard enough to think that thing that no parent ever wants to think. One of my teacher's aides, Lelia, is one of these people, a remarkable young woman who's grown up in this sort of environment. Lelia, did you have lockdown drills when you were in school?
I did.
And how did you feel about them?
It was hard to tell what was real and what wasn't. So it was very scary when they're like locked down and you weren't sure if it was a drill or not. And one time it wasn't a drill, like there was no warning. And we had to pull people in from the outside because they were skipping. They're like, no, you've got to get in here. There's a lockdown. There could be a gun on campus. And there was. There was a kid on campus with a gun. My mom showed up to get me with like 20 police cars around the school. We taped the window with construction paper because the blinds were broken. My teacher was sitting outside the door with a fire extinguisher ready to bash someone if they were to enter. And it was very scary. A lot of people were crying. She couldn't climb in the closet. Yeah, I was hiding behind a big counter with my chair all the way reclined.
So we got a little taste of it. This is what these kids are living every day. I would like us as a group to be the people that listen to young people. Not just hear them, but listen to them. Give them their due respect. We know how hard life is. They have the same hard life. They don't have the same responsibilities necessarily, but they're going through so much. And so many of these young people are so resilient and so beautiful. And frankly, for myself, I can't wait until they take all of our jobs and they leave this world, because I think it's going to be a better place then. Thank you very much. We will take a moment of silent reflection. going to have some announcements today. We're going to do something just a little bit different today, if you wouldn't mind to come up. We don't normally do this, but one of our assemblies has a personal request to make. They've asked them to keep it brief, but Sunday Assembly, we always try to say yes, so yes.
Thank you for saying yes. That's like what community is about. So I just lost, can you hear me? Okay, I was saying thank you for saying yes. It's like that's what community is about, so I appreciate it. Thank you, likely. I just lost my mom in Cameroon, and I am looking for a place, a low-cost place to do a wake. Does anyone here live in La Jolla Crossroads or 360 Apartments, or do you know anybody who lives there?
If you do, then come see St. John.
If you do, then come see me, or if you have any ideas of any little close place I could use, let me know. Thank you.
Or if you know anybody that might know somebody that lives in those areas, that'd be helpful for her.
Thank you.
On to our regular announcements, Laura.
We have two very quick announcements. One is super easy. We have a book game and puzzle swap after the assembly. So even if you didn't bring any stuff to donate, anything you want, just take it. It's fine. You don't even have to have a big coat and you go like this and sneak off. Just take it in plain sight. And then if you're done with it next time we do this, you can always bring it back and donate it and somebody else can read it. So it's books, puzzles, and games, and it's going to be out on the back patio right after the assembly. The next one is the rummage sale that's at a private house in Chula Vista. It's this upcoming Saturday. We are still taking donations for this. It is, we're a nonprofit run entirely by volunteers, and this is one of our best fundraisers. And we really appreciate any donations. It's also pretty dang fun for the organizers and whoever comes to volunteer to hang out and run a rummage sale. Yeah, it's early in the morning, but you can stop by anytime. It's 7 until we decide to stop, 10, 12, usually noonish. And the kind of things we're looking for, not really clothes, those don't sell pretty well, but housewares, sports equipment, what else?
Clean out your closets, I think is what you're saying.
Sure. Well, maybe not clothes, but if you have some shoes, if you have clothes that you think are higher priced items, we could sell those and sort of focus on it. So that's a week from now, and just contact anybody you've seen up here or wearing a thing if you have stuff you want to donate. We will come to you, we'll pick it up if we need to, we'll arrange it. The next thing is that we have hosted so many fun events in the past decade. And we've done bowling and walks and hikes, and we've done miniature golf and seeing movies, live music together, and sometimes it's just hanging out. So we've asked for your ideas about what kind of events to do before, and you guys told us what you want to do. It's awesome. So the number one event that you all want to do is potlucks. Yay. And also to attend local events together, San Diego events together, which is always super fun to get together and see your fellow assemblers and show up and see something. But we desperately need people to help organize and or host. It might seem, because the slides are pretty branded like we have our act together, we don't need help. We need your help to host events, we really, really do. Because we can get more stuff up on the calendar, cool, fun stuff to do if we get people to just step forward and volunteer. Nobody's going to do it alone. We would always have a board member or organizer work with you to work on an event, and then it gets easier every time. So just come see me with your ideas or your energy afterwards if you are excited to do something like that. I'm the chair of the Social Events Committee, which really we'd love to have assemblers on the committee and not just board members going, what do we have energy to host? We need your energy to put more stuff on the calendar. All right, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Laura. Thanks so much. Well, Unclaimed Freight, a.k.a. Paul Svensson, Jeff, and Dan, what would be a wonderful way to end the assembly?
No.
With a wonderful world.
What would be a wonderful world? I get it. I see what you're doing there. I just want you to know, by the way, that it is St. Patrick's Day, and some people are celebrating. I have shamrock underwear. So my heart's in it. Thank you. My heart's in it, you know, but it's kind of hidden.
Thank your butt.
My butt is completely in it. So I was in school and, you know, I wasn't doing very well. Just looking around, I don't get it. But there was this girl. There was this girl. Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about science. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. Don't know much about geography. Don't know much trigonometry. Don't know much about algebra. Don't know the slide rule, neither does anybody else. But I do know that too. And if this one could be with you, what a wonderful world this would be. Oh, I don't claim to be an A student, but I'm trying to be, because maybe by being an A student, baby, I could make your love for me. I don't know much about ages, and I turn the pages. Don't know nothing about the rise and fall. Don't know nothing about nothing at all. Girl, it's you that I've been thinking of. And if I could only be more loved, what a wonderful world this would be. La 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 history. La 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 biology. Ta 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 science. La 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 French I took. And I know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. What a wonderful world this would be. What a wonderful world this would be.
All right, thank you so much. I love singing and singing. I always have to make sure my mic is off because I am not a good singer, but just love it so much. Okay, lastly, we are going to just, I just want to close with a little bit about St. Patrick. Just kidding. We are going to break up now. That's it for, we have our next assembly, I believe is April 21st, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, it's not that date. And please be here. And please enjoy what is the best part of Sunday Assembly. Stay around and have a conversation with somebody here. Thank you so much.